Oh my gosh. And we are live. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, and freaking Twitter or X as well. We already got 3 viewers in here. Guys, this is our 100th episode, by the way. So before we get into the episode, Jerry, I just want to just give the people a quick history on us, guys. You guys got to understand the way this pod started was Jerry commented on my page. I commented back, right? And it was a stupid smart comment, right? We ended up like sharing DMs. He came on the show, and all of that turned into literally, you guys, think about this. The first year Jerry joined, which was last year, we grew 600 subscribers in 1 year. In 1 year, we went 600 subs, and Jerry and I have been going at it for almost 2 years now. And bro, I just want to tell you that you know already, bro. You're one of my best friends on this planet. You like some of my greatest times of my life. I always text you. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just happy that through the superhero verse, we have became best friends, and we also have this podcast that we do. And now we're doing TikToks and Instagrams, and we're on X. Shout out to you for coming alongside me, and you and I both kind of spearheading this channel. And now we have a freaking community, bro, of people that join every week, and it's all because of the fact that you said I'm gonna jump on the show, and it's changed my life forever, bro. So I just want to thank you for really, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks for bringing me on, bro. It's been a blast. It's funny because I was thinking about that today. I was like, it's crazy that we've known about this Superman movie coming for so long, because it feels like it happened in the blink of an eye. Like, it really does. I'm like, I was like, how long have they been making this thing? Because I remember when it was first announced, and like, that really does feel like it was literally yesterday. And they've already made this thing. It's in the pipe. 2025, it's going to be not just a big year for us and our show, but for everyone listening in. Shout out to Hungry Almighty. You've been here from the beginning. Shout out to Enzo. I know you've been coming on for a bit now. And, Chigs and
Dragon trainer, right?
Yeah. We got our guys. So, but this is going to be a big year for all of us. We got Superman coming out. We have Fantastic Four. We have Thunderbolts. We got Captain America, Daredevil. I mean, so much good things are happening. And outside of the superhero, like, I was thinking about it today because, we had our last like team meeting for the year at work today. And I was talking with things with my family, just everything going on right now, movies, work, the country, like everything is just 2025 is going to be a great year. It's a year of optimism. I think everyone is looking forward to everything to come in 2025. So we're just happy that we're a part of, something that you guys like to watch, and we're grateful that you let us be a part of your life. So, thanks for having us.
Exactly. And like, moments like the Superman poster coming out points out to where this is where it's fun to have friends, that your best friend is one of the people that you share your fandom with. Because the first person I sent the poster to was Jerry. Because him and I have been talking about this for freaking almost a year now. And it's like, when you build these friendships, you're able to share, those moments. And then obviously our friends like slapping them, or, like, it's funny when you get to your other content friends on X, Rome's going crazy. It's just like, I just love how we've kind of built our own little like community of people. And now we have people like Cosmic Collector, who's also someone that, that we've built a, relationship with as well, through, Jerry being the comic nut and goat that he is. So, this has just been a really great, road. And guys, this is only the beginning. This is you guys have just seen the beginning of this story.
I got chills from that.
Dude, I cried.
That score. I was listening to it like all day. Dude, I was showing people at work. And by the way, I heard someone, I don't know who it is, but someone near me at work had their phone go off like 3 times today, and they had an Avengers ringtone. And I was like, I got to find out who that is. I got to plug them to the pod. Or maybe not, because I don't really want to tie those two worlds together.
They are already asking on TikTok about our opinions on the new Superman movie photo.
Oh
All
man.
right, guys, we're on TikTok. We're going to get to it right now.
Yeah.
I just want to say, hey, Jalen Harris, welcome to the chat. We hope that you subbed. Welcome to the Superherocuts family, bro.
Yeah, and obviously we don't just hope you sub. We hope you have a good time listening in tonight, and we hope that we are worth your time.
Mm-hmm. And we respond to chats around here too. So let's see. So okay, let's just get right to it. I know you guys want to hear it. Okay, so this morning, the world I think was stopped for a moment because we got one of the greatest superhero posters of all time. Number one, we got the Superman poster. Number two, we got a actual like a visual video with the lights kind of shooting up while Superman is looking up with the
motion poster.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, we got a motion poster with the score playing. Then thirdly, we got a clip of like the camera just circling around a Superman emblem. Looks like the Fortress of Solitude, maybe. And it just said trailer.
Yeah. It's definitely the Fortress of Solitude because where else are they going to have the Superman logo?
Exactly. He's not on the farm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, and then, that was just showing us that there was a trailer coming, obviously Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific. For us is 9 a.m. So, Jerry, what was your reaction when you first saw this? And just tell me just your thoughts, because I know you have a lot to say, just because I know you.
I love that. I love the whistle. I love that James Gunn paid homage to John Williams and Hans Zimmer, and shout out to James Gunn for doing that because I'm sure he's had it with, certain fans and certain fandom, but like it was the right thing to do because above all of that, like the one thing you really can't say is that the Hans Zimmer score wasn't fire and one of the best scores of all time. Like you could say you don't like Man of Steel, you could say this, you could say that score is goated. There's a reason Hans Zimmer is the number one name when it comes to movie scores. But having said that, this score might put him on the map now too. This score is incredible. I love the whistle. I love that it's a female whistle. Sometimes like the gender choices for vocals are important. It's funny. I forget. I'm blanking on which James Bond movie it is now. I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies. But Q asks Bond, he's like, and which voice would you like for the card? Bond's like, female, but
yeah, Bond. Who else? Like, what else would he want?
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, come on. So anyway, the female whistle was a nice touch. Everyone obviously heard the John Williams and the Hans Zimmer in it, but it still felt new and fresh and like, it also reminded me of when you first turned on like PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 and you heard that sound and it was like, or even the OG, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies and the Columbia, and it was like the sound before the movie. It's like interesting. We know that what we're about to do is absolute fire, and we're just banging it on the table. Like this shit is raw, it is gold, and confident. I love it. Obviously the suit it wasn't like skin tight because it's not that material, but it's fitted. It fits right. There were a lot of concerns about the suit being baggy or frumpy from the set photos. Those concerns should be neutralized now. And also the tagline is great. Look up. It's kind of I see a lot of people on the internet that like you hear them say something and they got it from somewhere else and it's so obvious. Or sometimes like I see people basically copy and paste tweets and change like 2 or 3 words. So I saw someone online who had a great commentary. He's actually someone you really like, Straw Hat Goofy, and he was basically saying, it's almost like this tagline is part of the tagline from the original Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, where it was you'll believe a man can fly, look up. You know, it was a nice touch. So I think everything. Listen, we are two people with podcasts. We happen to be knowledgeable because we watch a ton of movies and we live this stuff. And I obviously read a ton of comics, and I'm a pretty creative person. Okay. But the one thing I know I'm not, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, we should write the script or they should do this or that. Like, I am not someone who is going to tell James Gunn what to do. I'm a confident person. I'm not a cocky person, and I'm definitely not humble. But I'm not going to tell someone like James Gunn what to do. And I think that a lot of us, not me, obviously, because I'm not talking about myself, but a lot of people get so opinionated that they are always telling these people what to do. And I think today was a day that proved why people like James Gunn are creatives and the co-head of DC Studios, and why everyone else is just someone with a Twitter or YouTube account.
Yeah. So James Gunn, this is probably the most important trailer in fandom history that we've ever dealt with so far. No one has as much pressure that James Gunn has right now, because this movie is one of the most important movies since Iron Man 1. This is going to be the most important movie for the DCU in general. And the fact that the scrutiny that this movie, or that Superman, you know, this David Cornsmith Superman has gone through, to the set photos being leaked, you know, and fans were just roasting the suit, and, you know, all of that stuff going on, for this art to come out and to rarely hear any negative comments, it just showed me that, you know, fandom is getting better to an extent. But I do want to talk about this. As Jerry said, the score is amazing. The singing voice is it's like an angelic type of singing. And the one thing that the music gave me was like, it's kind of like, so if you watch Chronicles of Narnia, right? When they go through the wardrobe in the film, you know, the music is kind of like really jolty because they're in the area of the White Witch and it's evil. But the second when they walk into where the lion is, Aslan, and his camp, you hear the most peaceful, beautiful voice, because where Aslan is, right? That is where peace is. And this score, to me at least, what I got from bro was that this is showing us that this is the beacon of hope. This is the guy that when you're in a pinch, you believe that he's going to show up. And just got to toot some, and, you know, I texted Jerry, you know, we got some horns that we got to toot today. We were right about the suit, about how there was going to be a lot of digital editing to the suit. The small little texturized details in the logo on the chest is awesome. You know, and I really think, and this is going to be my biggest reach of 2025, and this is my campaign. James Gunn's DCU, if he keeps the same approach, he's going to pass the MCU so easily, because I do love how he's taking a Dave Filoni approach to this, which is, you know, Dave Filoni's like approach with Ahsoka and Mando is he doesn't abuse continuity like the MCU does. You know, like Dave Filoni's outlook is like he will not use continuity as an excuse to not do a good story, but he still obeys the rules of the freaking universe. And I think that James Gunn is going to give us a story that is very different to an extent, as in, I think that we're just going to see Superman doing a lot of things at once, which I really think we haven't seen since Reeve, where it's kind of just multiple different scenes where Superman might save a cat, he might save a car that's jumping off a bridge or whatever. But I really do think that what James Gunn is doing is going to be very different, because he is doing it very differently than what the MCU has ever done. Not to mention that we have Hawkgirl and, you know, Guy Gardner and so many other characters where, like, I have questions of how they're going to be worked into this, you know, story as well. So I think that this trailer is so important, and if everything goes well, Superman is going to be one of the most important films that is going to catapult probably the greatest shared universe that we might ever see. So far.
what's interesting is, first of all, the comic that Superman is based off of is All-Star Superman, and it's almost like poetic justice, because the whole point of like the All-Star series from DC was that they were going to put some of their best creators on a 12-issue story where they could just tell the most like edgy, forward-thinking stories that don't have the limits of continuity. And I know we all love continuity and a shared universe. I do too. But there's ups and downs with everything in life, right? And the downside to shared universes and continuity is that it makes it much harder to create within. Like, if you were to make a movie at the beginning of the MCU, you would have a much easier time doing it than doing it right now with everything that's happened already and so forth. And now you have to do it in this multiversal saga without the best characters. But DC has an advantage now because they're doing a shared universe, but Superman's the first movie in the shared universe. So nothing else really came before it other than Creature Commandos, which was made by James Gunn too. So I think that James Gunn is brilliant and he knows how to take advantage of something like that. He's not going to come out and say, oh, well, I had the advantage. Like, when you have the advantage, you shut up about the advantage.
Exactly.
But Marvel is not making the best decisions, and James Gunn is also going to take advantage of that. And I think he's really going to put their heads to the wall with the DCU. I really do. I don't even get me started because we're going to go down the rabbit hole.
Next topic. Don't worry, bro. 2 topics from now, we're going to dig deep into that. But when we talk about something now.
And also, by the way, things are bad when fans come at you for criticizing movies. When people are throwing temper tantrums because you're criticizing a movie, that universe is in trouble. But anyway, I think Superman's going to be incredible. And the more I think about it, I know there's like, I'm not really paying attention to much of it online, but I did give it some thought today because people are like apparently freaking out over Batman. Apparently, a lot of people want to see Pattinson in the DC.
Hold on, bro. Wait, bro. That is next. That's literally next.
I'm going to say one quick thing here.
Go ahead.
Pattinson is not the right guy for the DCU. I like Pattinson as Batman. I think he's great. He's not the right guy for the DCU. They need a more fantastical Batman that works with other characters, and Pattinson's Batman just wasn't there for it on the terms of the dialogue and the personality. He works for the Batman epic crime saga. That's what he was made for. He wasn't made for the DCU. If you think that's the right move, you're wrong. Flat out, you're wrong. And if you can't see it, hang it up.
I have different thoughts. I'm going
to put your head through the wall.
I have different thoughts, bro. We're going to have to talk about that one because I do not agree with that at all. But in regards to Superman, bro, and also like James Gunn, and I'm going to talk about this when we talk about, the whole Sony and Marvel thing. But what James Gunn has, like, when Feige came into the MCU, he didn't have, he's technically borrowing Hulk and Namor from freaking Universal. That's why he can't make a Hulk film, even when he first came in, he didn't have the Fantastic Four. He did not have the X-Men. He's kind of borrowing Spider-Man technically, with James Gunn, the dude has everything at his fingertips, like he's able to use almost any character he wants. So sorry.
But Kevin Feige also understands that the reason he has these licensing issues is that if Marvel wouldn't exist if they didn't have these licensing issues. Marvel almost went bankrupt in the 90s, and they sold the licenses of different characters to different groups to save them from bankruptcy. So if Kevin Feige had all those characters, Marvel wouldn't exist.
100%. But that's the that's what makes James Gunn's DCU more prone to succeed because he has everybody, bro. Like he has an endless pool to freaking dig from, And so I really think James Gunn right now, bro, he got it good, dog. He got it good.
He has it good, but he still has his issues. He's got the Snyder baggage and the fandom issues. He has now fans that are duking it out over what he's going to do with Batman. He has people that complain about him breathing. So listen, James Gunn definitely doesn't have as big of issues as Marvel does, but he has his own set of issues.
Yeah, but that's what comes with being a public figure. And that's why I think Feige isn't like that, because I feel like Feige can't handle all of that smoke. But like when you're actively tweeting and communicating with fans on Threads and X, which I think is fun, like people be hate on it, but I think it's fun that he's talking to us, you know what I mean? But like when you have a public eye like that, it's way easier to have a target on your back, and my friend said the funny thing. He said James Gunn is taking the Trump approach where he's like, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do and then I'm gonna just do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think it's a funny comparison because he is really out here like saying what he's gonna do, and then we're watching it come to
right
fruition. So I think that it's so that's
the approach. It's worked for Trump.
100%, and that's why I think that James Gunn, but that's why I think is very interesting, and it also just differentiates, what the MCU and the DCU are. Like Feige and James Gunn are just two different people. Like James Gunn, and I like this. One of my favorite qualities about him is that he's a showboat. Like he's going to flex. That's who he is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They put a James Gunn film on the poster.
I don't blame him, bro.
I don't blame him. I would do it. You would be stupid not to.
100%, bro. But that's just who he is. Versus where Feige's more low key. Like he pops out every now and then, but then he's back in his lab, trying to cook. Yeah. So just those different qualities, bro. That's what makes this thing, I think, 10 times more interesting when it comes to them two. But all right, let's read some chats here. Alan Richness, oh my god, please, Hyperion, bro. I'm off Hyperion. Episode 100, yes sir. We read that. So excited for this trailer. Love the poster, the suit, the colors, the music, absolute perfection. Do you think Alan Richardson is perfect for Hyperion and mean after the Reacher? I can see it. I don't. We've talked about this before, right? Like we're not really sold for Alan Richardson, or I'm not sold for him to play Hyperion. I think he would be a good Batman or something like that. But he's played a lot of DCU characters as well, so maybe he could. Honestly, do you know who I think he should play? Balin Skull in Ahsoka. I think that'll be a perfect. That
actually would be a perfect role for him. I actually really like Hyperion. Hyperion's a really cool character, but and Alan Richardson literally looks just like him. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I would like them to cast people that not everyone's saying on Twitter. I would like to be surprised by some castings and not have I don't know. I just think all the fan castings, everyone wants the same people, and I don't know. I'd like to be surprised.
You see, I view
no one expected David Corenswet. No one casted him for anything, and they're saying he's going to be the best Superman of all time. Mm-hmm. So, and by the way, I believe them. I really do. I believe them. The kid's a good actor. I've seen him in Hollywood. I stopped watching Hollywood on Netflix because it wasn't for me. But the kid's a talented actor, and I think that casting directors are better at scouting actors than we are. And that's why they're in their seat and we're in ours. Yeah. And I respect it, and I put faith in casting. Obviously, some of them suck, and some of them pick really bad actors for really, really big roles, and it happens. Or some of them waste Christian Bale, in Thor: Love and Thunder, who's the best actor that has ever walked in any comic book movie, period. So, he is. There's only one actor better than Christian Bale, and it's Leo DiCaprio. And Leo DiCaprio will never do a comic book movie. So that makes Christian Bale the best actor to ever be in a comic book movie, period.
I'm not going to do this right now. But yeah, I mean, look, and Alan Richardson, he actually said a really cool thing that I never really thought of. He said that when actors get a role like a Jack Reacher, right? He said that you have to think of that role for him like that's his James Bond. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't see himself getting any larger than that. So he wants to hold on to this Jack Reacher thing as much as he can. And he said that his manager told him that when you get roles like that's based off of book adaptation stuff, he said you have to treat it like it's Bond. You're not going to go anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So he's probably not going to go anywhere until this Jack Reacher thing's over, you know? So, and I thought that was a very interesting way of, thinking about it. And that's just an insight into how some actors, take these roles that are, kind of, big with a big, fandom behind them.
It's true. I mean, at work, when I first had clients, like, I treated them all the same, like, no matter how big the account was. Thankfully, I don't have to do that anymore because some of them are a pain in the ass. But, like there's a Jay-Z quote. I probably shouldn't be quoting Jay-Z right now, but you got to treat your first like your last and your last like your first, like you never came or something like that. I guess that has another meaning. Forget it. I actually got to say, I've met Jay-Z
for real?
Probably more times than I've met any other celebrity ever. And he's one of the nicest celebrities, like ever. True. I've met him so many times, and every time he's been cool as hell. He's recognized me, remember my name. Like he was cool as hell every time.
That's
so
hilarious.
I kind of feel bad for him with this, and I hope it's not true.
Bro, the colors and the music, the symbol of hope, has finally returned. Facts. Hans music is always fire. Oh heck yeah, bro. Do you think Alan bro just asked the same question like 4 times? Yes, we think he could. He could be up here. Bro, the female voice just makes it more unique. It does, bro. Yo, doesn't it remind you of like doesn't give you like a Halo vibe a little bit? Oh, with the voice, it's just funny.
No, I because she.
Oh no, the Halo's a dude one. Ooh. Yeah, never mind. I'm thinking of another song.
I thought you were talking about Cortana.
No, I was thinking of the Halo theme song. I thought it was a girl for some reason. The only 2 things I need for this trailer: bright and hopeful, along with some good action. Facts.
I hope we get more about what the actual story is going to be. I was reading one of my favorite creators. He doesn't usually make movies, but he happened to make a documentary recently, and he's made 2 documentaries. And he was like, the trailer making process is really tough because you only have like 2 or 2.5 minutes or whatever it is. And you have to decide what you want to put in it. And you have to also tell a cohesive story in that 2 minutes. And like, there's a lot of stuff that you plan to put in the trailer that A, doesn't fit the cohesive story, or B, there's just not enough time. And it's actually a really tricky process. And I never thought about it that way, but I could see it being really tough. So, but I do hope we learn about the story. I want to see Superman flying. I want to see action. I want to see that optimistic, energy in it. But I do want to get a feel for what the story in the movie is going to be.
Another thing that I'm also searching for, bro, is they got to sell us on this world that we're in, because there's so many different characters in it as well that like the world has to make sense, which I think it will. But like you have to accept all of it, because we're getting we're getting Lex Luthor, bro. Like
yeah,
and not just any. He's gonna be bald. He's not gonna have long hair. So sorry, that's the topic for another day.
Yeah.
Tyler Hoechlin is Gladiator. I like Paul, man. He was cool. Yep. The Gunn haters and
I think you're talking about Gladiator, like the Marvel character.
Oh, the Marvel character.
Yeah.
Let me see what he looks like. Gladiator, Marvel.
Or maybe he's talking about DC.
Oh, you're talking about like Gladiator Clark, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. By the way, he was in X-Men.
No, the Shi'ar. The Shi'ar. Yeah.
That would be dope.
Gladiator's a dope character. I was actually just reading a dope story with him in it. But yeah, no, the Shi'ars are cool. So is Elandra, but I don't know. Tyler, I don't see him as Gladiator, but I do think he, like, above most of the other CW Arrowverse actors, I do think he is one of the top talents they had.
Yeah. Do you know a fun fan casting? I saw all of them. Wolverine. Thought that was very interesting.
I don't think he's that talented.
No, but like as in look, not really like acting ability.
But
like,
that's the problem with the fan castings. People
I
are
know.
like,
You
oh,
just go,
he looks
yeah,
the
you go,
part. And then
looks, not
everyone's
acting.
saying it on Twitter, and next thing you know, it's like we got to talk
Yeah.
about Tyler
Yeah.
Hoechlin playing Wolverine.
Bro, to be honest, there's been a lot, like, it's been until now, it was rare that fan castings really made like waves.
Bro, since we started this podcast, fan castings have been making waves.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for the past year, yes, but like before that, like they wasn't going nowhere. Like I knew it was wild when we got freaking Channing Tatum Gambit. That's when I was like, oh wow, like it made it from the internet, bro. Like,
that was horrible.
Yeah. Yep. The Gunn.
Not that I didn't like the movie, but I thought Channing Tatum as Gambit was a joke, and a lot of people I realized didn't take it as a joke. Because I put up something on Threads about it, and I was like, basically, I forget exactly what I wrote, but it was to the effect that Channing Tatum as Gambit was a joke, and because of that, it didn't land for me. I would like to see a comic accurate Gambit, and people were like, "What do you mean? That wasn't a joke. Like that was just." I was like, and then I had to tell them, like, what about the line where Deadpool was like, "Who is your dialect coach? It's horrible," and they were like, "Oh no, that they weren't making fun of him. That was a compliment. It was a compliment." And I'm like, "Oh," and there were
the whole point of the movie is that Gambit's an idiot. Like,
yeah. And it's crazy.
They just need to watch. If they just watch X-Men, just watch X-Men 97 for crying out loud. That's a real freaking Gambit, bro.
Or just read a comic book. They'll never do
that. Sorry. Yep. The Gunn haters and suit complainers are being really quiet or just being ignored by more people who are hyped about the DC. Yeah, bro. The Snyder haters never had a voice to freaking begin with. I'm calling it. If Gunn gets Superman, Teen Titans, Brave and Bold, Supergirl, and Lantern right, DC will surpass Marvel unless Marvel brings the X-Men and bring heat with that. Yeah, the dream is that both are cooking, bro. I hope, man. Like, it would suck if the pendulum just switched. If Marvel and DC succeed, we all win 100%. Eating good. Exactly. Which means more content you'll get from us. and it might be so bad that we might have to split. Like Jerry might do DC, I might have to do Marvel, dude. Who knows? I really want that DC versus Marvel rivalry pushing each other. Yes, that's what we want. We want competition to bring the next thing. Yeah, facts, bro. We all bro. Remember when they had like Batman versus Superman going against Civil War? That was so fun, bro. That was so fun. How they had
yeah.
It was fun.
I'll take DC, by the way. DC is going to do well, and you're going to be stuck defending Marvel.
Nah, bro. I'm finna do Harry Potter or something, bro. We all want both good DC and Marvel. I hate it when people turn it into a console wars between DC and Marvel. 100%. All right, I'm gonna read a few more chats. There's so many, and then we're gonna get to the next topic. I think there's more. Suni, how are you doing, bro? Welcome to the chat, man. I think there's more than enough room for friendly competition between them, right? Gunn has been debunking Reeves Batman coming to the DCU for like a year. LOL. Unfortunately, things can change. The trailer just leaked on Reddit. I'm gonna have to search for that after this podcast. He's maintained it on Creature Commandos press tour, so things haven't changed. So Suni. Do you think Kevin Feige should retire after Secret Wars? No.
I think that after Secret Wars is going to be like probably the biggest test to his credibility. Like, is he going to be able to do the MCU after Secret Wars? Because they're struggling now, and what he should do is do the Mutant Saga or whatever saga he's got planned for after Secret Wars. Make sure it's a banger saga. And then he should not retire, but at least hang it up at Marvel, because he can't afford to go out after a saga like the Mutant Saga. If he hung it up after Secret Wars, he would be taking it. It doesn't matter how good Secret Wars is. Actually, it probably does. But the Mutant Saga as a whole, it's just the quality of it is not something he wants to hang his hat on.
Yeah, I promise you, they're sending him right to Star Wars. I promise you, if he leaves, they're sending him right over there to try to fix what's going on. I could promise you that.
You better hope he gets Harry Potter. Yeah, you're gonna have fun covering Harry Potter, bro.
Yeah, I love Harry Potter. But they're kind of pissing me off. They're kind of pissing me off too, dude.
The Harry Potter fans are almost like the Snyder fans, because they're never going to support it.
They're just never happy.
Harry Potter,
Yeah.
But like,
imagine, bro. Just imagine being mad at or trying to reboot. Like, it's just it. I just don't understand that. Like it's very similar to like Superman. Like, how are you mad at like there hasn't been a Superman movie for so long, and they're trying to do something new. How can you be mad at that? Like, it just makes no sense to me.
I love the name Indiana, Jake. Indie respect. I see you.
The profile pitch is hilarious too. I still like Richmond for Batman. He will look right, but I don't think he will play the part well. See, like the thing with me and Richmond would be like a good like Rick Flag or someone like that. Like he's like Richmond plays the army military role well. I think he should stay in that bag. I don't really think he would be a great Batman, because Batman just has a certain melodic, low-key type of vibe that Alan Richardson just doesn't do well. And Jack Reacher isn't really that. That makes sense. Jack Reacher's smart, but he's not low-key and melodic like what Batman is.
I think he could do roles that aren't like Jack Reacher, military guy like roles, but I still just don't see him as Batman. Batman is like someone who is like James Bond, but dark and brooding and like, you know, he really is a lot like James Bond, because the level of conflicted, the ego, the money, all that, and they carry it well. But like, and they're both probably equally as conflicted, but you see and feel the confliction more with Batman.
Exactly. And Alan is a great actor, but as I said, he will be good as a Rick Flag or type of character like that, not necessarily a Batman. And by the way, the guy they got playing Rick Flag is also freaking amazing.
I think he would have made a great Captain America.
100%. Is that another great one? Another great character as well. It's a red outline on his chest. Oh yeah, I peeped. I saw that too. All right. After this, I'm gonna read two more chats, and we're gonna go to the next topic. I agree. A blue Marvel Disney series. We talked about this last week, bro. Got my friends to watch X-Men 97, and they were like, oh, so that's how Gambit acts. Like, he's much cooler here than the movie. I see why you say Tatum. Exactly, bro. That's what we said. X-Men 97 is the perfect like thing. I don't think it's a need. Bro, go to Spectrum Cuts. I do a whole video breaking down why I do not agree with that take. Alan Richardson as Captain Atom. That would be very interesting. Hi guys, do you know who's doing the film score, and do you think it'll have hints of the John Williams theme?
It does. Did you not listen to it? It dropped today.
Yeah.
You're living under a rock. I'm thankful that you found our podcast. You didn't,
bro, this thing's been all over the internet, bro. You gotta go on X and just type in Superman.
Yeah.
Literally, or go on Instagram and just go to James Gunn's Instagram, and you'll see all the Superman posts.
And you'll hear it. It's phenomenal, and yes, it has John Williams and Hans Zimmer inspiration.
100%. Okay, so why do you think that? So, well, actually, you already said your reasoning of why you don't think that Pattinson would.
I could expand on
it. I would love for you to expand, because I do have some rebuttals that I would love to share, but you need to. I need to get some more.
Well, if you already have rebuttals, I'd like to hear the rebuttals first.
I want you to expand
rebuttals before I know what I'm going to say. It seems to me that your answer is more emotional. It's not actually based on what I'm going to say. You just want to defend Pattinson because you like Pattinson.
Oh, I'm taking my bias out the picture, bro. I promise.
You're not. You're not. You're like, bro, what are you going to say? Because I have rebuttals. Like, that's not how it works. You're biased. You're biased.
Bro, I'm taking
put your head through the wall, bro.
I promise you, bro. My bias. I don't even have a Batman poster up. Wait, hold on.
I don't have a Batman poster up either.
Oh, here we go. While I'm defending. Okay, here we go. Now, Jerry, while I'm talking about the greatest Batman of all time, take a look there, brother. Take a look there. Okay, so I think that the Batman, Robert Pattinson, would be the most perfect Batman for the DCU. Number one, because I do think that the noir vibe is the legit opposite vibe of Superman, and obviously, like, they are going to have to go fantastical with Batman. But that's why Robert Pattinson is a freaking actor. Like, I think that Pattinson is a well-respected and great actor. He's done so many different projects. He's played thugs to freaking kings to all of these other things. I think that Robert Pattinson could change the way he acts and become a fantastical, different, type of Batman for the DCU. Now, the cons could be that fans could not accept that, which I don't think would happen. And the other con, which I think might be a reason why I am against this, I'm like 50-50 on this, because I would be against this, because if they do go with Pattinson, that does mean that they have to somehow finish his, coming up of Batman, because like Batman is still in like an origin phase of he's trying to figure out himself, etc., which means that Robin will probably be pushed back, which with what James Gunn is trying to do with the dynamic duo stuff, that could also be a possible, mixed bag. But, it's just weird how Matt Reeves said last year that the script was going well and that they were working in tandem with doing that. And then James Gunn says that he's gotten no script at all. And it just comes out super weird to me. And, James Gunn talked about, that him and Matt Reeves have talked about wanting to bring Pattinson in, and Matt Reeves like, nah, I kind of want to do my own thing. But at the end of the day, like, if you announce Robert Pattinson as the Batman of the DCU with the Superman trailer or whenever, I think it could work, and I think it will be the greatest thing for the U, because Robert Pattinson is already a Batman that people like. And if you have to make simple changes, like it's just up to the writing to make that work. And honestly, this is where I'm at. I think it will be even better if you can start off with Dick Grayson as Robin. I know that Brave and the Bold with Damian Wayne is a big thing, and I love Damian Wayne. But if you can start with a Dick Grayson Robin, because Batman is like 38, I think that would be the perfect situation. Or honestly, any Robin. To be honest, I mean, Pattinson is 38, but I think if you start with that Robin, it will be the perfect thing. That's my opinion.
I'm not holding back at all. You are like really letting your bias get the better of you on this one, bro. First of all,
let me hear it.
So many different things. Number one, your argument is in support of abandoning the Batman epic crime saga, right? Okay. That's billions of dollars on the table, because we know the Batman Part 2 and Part 3 are both at least going to do 700 mil. Okay, so that's 1.5 right there, plus the shows. So we're talking $2 billion worth just abandoned, thrown out the window. Number one. Number two, Pattinson is a great Batman. I like him. I think he's a good Batman, but he was made for the Batman epic crime saga, not for a shared universe. And I think that goes above the way they put Pattinson into the movie. I think it goes with them choosing Pattinson to be Batman for that movie. And I think that for the DCU, we need an extroverted Batman. We had an introverted Batman in the Batman, and you need an extrovert to work well with the Justice League, with the Bat family, and all the other characters. Pattinson really relied a lot on vibes. If you look at his dialogue for a lot of the movie, he really didn't talk that much. And when he did, it was really like almost under his breath. He's just an introverted Batman, and that's fine, but it doesn't work for the DCU and the shared universe. It's not a good idea to abandon that kind of money, especially when they're trying to fledge out DC Studios. And and the other thing here is that it's a terrible idea to start with Robin. This is a new shared universe. They need to take some risks, but that's just a crazy one. Batman is the most popular character in DC right now, at least. Obviously, some people might argue Superman. It goes back and forth. I would say it's Batman, whatever. He's either number one or number two. And there's a reason that they included a Batman movie in the slate, which was a pretty small slate at the first announcement. They're not going to do a Dick Grayson movie before they do a Batman movie. as much as they want to make Dick Grayson popular, they also want to make money and want the DCU to be successful, and they're not going to do something like that. And then if they're crazy if they leave that kind of money on the table, and they're also crazy if they choose to have a Batman in the Justice League who's introverted, because you need an extrovert for that. Listen, you could like Pattinson, you could like the Batman. I do too, but like, come on. Yeah, you got to see the bigger picture on this one.
Okay, so I do not agree with you because money should not be an issue. A Batman and Robin movie expanding the universe, bro, could be $1 billion, like film. Like Pattinson. Hold on. Pattinson with a minuscule Gotham world did 700 mil. What do you think the whole power do? What do you think when we involve the freaking League and all of these other fantastical characters? Robert Pattinson doesn't. And Robert Pattinson also doesn't make the dialogue. Robert Pattinson doesn't make the vibes. He literally is just following what he's told to do in the film. So if Robert Pattinson is told to be different, he's going to do that. And even if you go for it, right, you can retcon and time jump to a more mature Batman, because at this point, Pattinson is going to be in his 40s, And I also do not agree with the fact that Batman can't be an introvert. James Gunn is going off of the Justice League and made a show where Batman was an introvert, bro. Batman only joined the League and that John whenever he was needed, bro. Like, bro, the whole Justice League wanted to turn themselves in, and Batman's like, yeah, y'all got that. I'm out. And he just hung up on him, you know what I mean? But there were a lot of Justice League episodes where Batman just wasn't present, because that's how Batman is, bro. Batman is going to be doing his thing in Gotham, and then when he's needed, when they're down to the wire, he's going to show up. But that's the kind of mystery that makes Batman such an interesting character, because he's not the type to jump to be on the team and be a team guy. You know what I mean? Because that's the way it was, like in the shows which James Gunn is using to model, his whole you after. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with the whole introvert thing. Batman's always an introvert, bro.
Well, that's not true, number one. And number two, you're missing the point here, because it doesn't make sense when you say $1 billion for the Batman. Oh, well, Pattinson could make the money in the DCU too, which was basically your argument. You're missing the point, because it's additional money. The DCU plus the Batman. Once you take the Batman off the table, that money's off the table. It doesn't just go to the DCU, because they know the DCU is going to make money. But if you take one off the table, you're taking that money off the table, where you could have both. So that's number one. Number two, whether you want to argue that, which is kind of what I'm hearing is, oh, well, we could do Pattinson and he could just have a smaller role on the Justice League because Pattinson's introverted, and that would be cool. Like, he's still going to need to be more extroverted with the Bat family. So either way, you're going to need an extroverted Batman. And it sounds to me like you just like Pattinson, so you want Pattinson, and you're trying to argue for it.
But that's where character growth comes into the picture, bro. Obviously, starting out, he's going to be an introvert, but when he has family and he has a lot more things to lose, he's obviously going to grow into a different character. But if you do these separate views, bro, it's just like Sony and freaking Marvel Studios, bro. Like, it's like, yes, it's going to be profitable, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be a comparison of who is the better Batman. And at the end of the day, like, it doesn't, like, it can be a detrimental downfall to the universe. I am not for two different Batmans happening, bro. Like, this isn't like Marvel. Yeah, not anymore, bro. Because bro, this isn't like Marvel and Sony, where it's two, like Sony is its own company and Marvel Studios is its own company, bro. It's two Batmans in the same universe and they're the same character. What's the point? It's not like Clark Kent and Val Zod, bro. Like, this is like it just doesn't, like, it just doesn't make sense to have two different Batmans. Like,
so if they hire someone new to do,
and fire Pattinson,
you would be okay with that?
Yes.
I don't believe it. Yes. I think when that day comes, I think you're going to have a new complaint.
Here's the thing,
bro. New rebuttal you'll come up with.
But Jerry, look, here's the thing. Will I agree that Pattinson, like, if he is not the DCU guy, will I agree with that decision? No. But will it be better for fans? Yes. Because the last thing we need is for fandom to be divided again over two Batman. It just doesn't help the cause.
I disagree.
Bro, Like, bro, why would I want to watch a noir Batman with a miniature behind universe when I go watch a fantastical Batman that has Robins, that has Clayface, that has a league, that has everybody? There is literally no point in me watching the Batman if I have everything in the fantastical, bro. There's no point.
You're gonna tell me a guy with superhero cuts, you're not gonna watch 2 Batman movies?
Bro, I have to because we cover this, but bro, Robin, but here's the thing:
the more Batman, the better.
But here's the thing, bro. Robin is my favorite superhero of all time, and you know this. You know where I'm gonna go first. I'm going to gas up the DCU Batman because they're actually involving the Bat family, which I think is better and different, bro. Pattinson is, I mean, if we just being real, bro,
then it makes more sense to have both, because then you have the Pattinson, the epic crime saga, which you've always wanted, a mystery noir-driven Batman, which you're going to now have, and you're going to have a fantastical Batman, a new Batman with Robin. And by the way, bro, I promise you, whoever they pick for the DCU Batman, it's going to be someone you're happy with, and you're going to be, and if you could see it that way, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. Now I have 2 Batmans at the same time. I'm getting that much more Batman. It's great. And for the fans that are going to, the inevitable, number of fans that are going to be like, oh, well, I like this Batman more. That's going to do wonders for DC, because now you're going to have people buzzing up, I like this one, I like that one. And they're going to be paying more attention to both. And like my dad always says, that's why they make chocolate. That's why they like vanilla. You might like vanilla more, but chocolate's not a bad ice cream, And listen, I do think that Pattinson is great in the Batman that they made, but I don't think that Batman works for the Justice League. And by the way, pretty much everyone said that when that movie came out. Everyone said this Batman's great, but it's definitely not a Justice League type of Batman. And I don't think, yes, they could probably change Pattinson's portrayal a bit, but it would be uncomfortable for Pattinson, number one. More importantly, they picked Pattinson to play a very specific type of Batman. And when James Gunn and the casting director are looking at actors to play Batman, they have the vision in mind, and they're looking for an actor to connect that vision in the way Matt Reeves selected Pattinson to connect a different vision. And it's fine. And I think it's great that we're going to get both. I mean, listen, I'm sure people in the comments, let me know. Do you want 2 Batmans? Do you want more Batman movies? I mean, I love Batman. Batman's my favorite character. If I could get 2 different Batman movies going on at once, I'm for it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I just do not agree with that, bro. I just think that it's stupid, and I just think that, like, you can literally make the changes to Robert Pattinson, even soft reboot, even do a soft reboot for freaking crying out loud, and also, bro, how do you know if that's uncomfortable for someone? Pattinson is a chameleon as an actor, bro. That's his job. His job is to play whatever role he's hired to do, and obviously Pattinson is doing something right because James Gunn met with Matt Reeves about it. He wanted him there. So obviously there is something. Obviously, James Gunn said that him and Reeves met and talked about it. He said that when he first got it, he tweeted about it, saying that they met and talked about it. And he said that when he walked away, Reeves said, I wanted to do my own thing.
Okay, so they made the decision already.
You never know, man. You never know.
They're not going back if they made the decision. Bro, when those big decisions get made, they get made. I'm telling you. I see it come down all the time. And I think it's better to get 2 Batman movies. And
yeah,
I like it. You had your you were working on your rebuttals before we even had this conversation.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree, man. We'll have to agree to disagree. I am anti 2 Batman. Like honestly, like I'm just saying, like the Brave and the Bold is going to wash the Batman in box office, bro. Wash easily. I do know that, bro.
And
I do know that. You're giving us the whole pie when we're only getting a freaking slice of sweet potato pie, bro.
They always say that it's easier to make money a lot of the times on sequels than it is on first installments.
Yeah, sequels are always the biggest film. Well, usually unless if you're like Iron Man, but sequels are usually the largest, box office.
Yeah, and there's so much hype behind the Batman. They did the Penguin show, which had a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype behind the Batman epic crime saga. And that's why I'm telling you, they don't want to fucking take that money off the table.
But I am just telling you this, bro. be on the watch, man. If we hear nothing about a script, I am pushing this narrative hard, bro. If I don't hear anything about a script, but all right, let's get. And but by the way, great spat.
You and the Snyder fandom.
Oh no, don't put me with that, dude.
They're also rooting for this.
Don't put me with Snyder, bro. I am not.
You're on their team on this.
Number one, you like Snyder films more than I do, bro.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm not out here geeking like the fandom.
Yeah, me either. But I am not. I am anti Batman.
You're on their team on the Pattinson one, bro.
Bro, it isn't just Snyder fans that like Pattinson, bro. I think everybody likes.
I like Pattinson. I'm not saying I don't like Pattinson. I just don't think he's right for the DCU.
I disagree. All right, let's see. At least I'm not saying Ben Affleck. That's Snyder crap. All right, let's see.
I'll give you that one because I put your head through the wall, so I'm feeling a little guilty.
You did not put my head through the wall, bro.
Okay.
Yo, chat. Did Jerry cook me? Yes or no? I just want to know. Did I get cooked
so bad that you're doing the phone a friend option?
I don't think I got cooked, but I would love to hear that because I don't think I got cooked. All right, let's see. We did that already. Here's a Batman 2 question. Where exactly, bro? That's what I said. He said the script was going well. We still don't have a script. It's just scary stuff to me.
Well, they went through like 2 strikes and COVID and all this stuff.
COVID, bro. COVID's old, dude. No. This is he said last year. He said last year, bro.
James Gunn addressed this like the other day. I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah, he just said there's no script.
But there were more details on it.
Hey, bro, I gotta pee. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
Just semi? Come on. You know I cooked them.
My bad, bro. We back.
So I can't find it right now. But basically, what he said was he was given parts of the script, not the whole thing. Some of it went to DC, but they never got the final draft. But they basically said that the writer's strike really caused a lot of delays in the script.
Fair. Yeah. Okay, well, what's that to see, man? I say if we don't get a script by next spring, man, it's gonna be a problem. Robert, as the DCU batch co-work of the kind of soft reboot, basically Matt Reeves does the Batman part 1 and 2, then B&B is a time skip years later where Batman exactly you easily time skip it. John Berthal, whoa, that's a wild take, bro. John Berthal's Batman's crazy. He's a little too like rough around the edges. Essentially, you just need to do a minor retcons, kind of what Marvel did with Charlie. Exactly, bro. In MCU, where they soft rebooted that version of Daredevil in the MCU and barely referenced the past, but the past have been 100%, bro. Luke Evans as Mr. Sinister. Not who's Luke Evans? Oh, that's the dude who was in the Dracula film. No. Here's an idea of the Bats Part 1 Year 2, the Bats Part 2 Year 3 time skip. Raven Bo Patterson as Batman. He meets Damian and had 2 other Robins. Dick and Jason were in between the time skips. Yeah, and then you literally do the and then you basically make the what's that movie called? Nah, it's not become my mind. What is the movie with the 2 Robins that's coming out 2028?
A dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. You just based around that. Make just passes Batman. Oh, you use time fill easy. They're going to cast an older Bats in the DCU, but probably playing minor roles, not selling the projects on him yet because they already have a Bat trilogy, which I think will end up being so. Well, so this is what I think because, like, Gunn said, like, he's nowhere near Batman yet. So if Battison does go forward as his own thing, that's going to end. I think he's going to end that out, and then, or I think he's going to do the Batman Part 2, and then DCU Bats comes. Like, I don't even think there's even a script touched yet. And like with Andy off of the project, there's definitely no progress at the moment.
Wait, so Andy's not on the movie?
He's off, dude.
That's confirmed.
You said what?
I'm asking you if that's confirmed.
That's just well, I've heard that all over X that Andy's off. I didn't check who said it though, but I'm just going with that.
Yeah, they're saying that that's the rumor going around.
Yeah,
it's rumors, but it's definitely being talked about.
Yeah, bro, and like it's just people that we've gone to that we've read 1,000 times and
right.
Been a lot of things right lately. I'm pretty sure Cosmic Circus is the first one that said it, but who is your fan cast Wolverine? I don't really have one right now, other than Henry Cavill. Again, at the end of the day, I prefer they go for a new actor for Brave and Bold, but if they were something, my cat just ran by me. But if they were to go Pattinson, then they can work with some minor retcons here and there. Facts. Pattinson ain't doing more than a trilogy. Pfft, money talks, bro. Yes, I want to Batman. Oh, the more Batman, the better. Oh, that demonic text right there. Josh Hutcherson. I don't think we'll get Brave and the Bold till like 2030 after the Batman trilogy. Oh my God! No, he biased, bro. He's on your side, so I don't.
How is he biased?
Because he agrees with you, bro. So we need someone that doesn't agree with either, or that doesn't have a dog in the fight.
Well, maybe he didn't agree with me, but now he does because he heard me out.
Hungry Almighty, did Jerry cook me? That's someone I'll trust. In the meantime, we'll get projects like Clayface Nightwing. Unlikely. It's more likely that the Batman Part 2 is pretty much the ending. Exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's definitely going to end after 2. They're not doing a third, bro.
I hope they do 3.
Can you name an actor better than Pattinson? There's not an actor better than Pattinson, unless if Christian Bale himself came back to play. Would you be happy if Michael Fassbender is our permanent? Yes, bro. We've been saying that for only months,
and by
bro.
the way, we don't know if that's like why I keep saying like let the casting directors do their job, because there could be an actor we've never heard of that comes in to play Batman and becomes the best Batman of all time. Like, we have no clue. Yeah.
And that's I hope that is somebody that we don't know. I want all the castings to be nobodies, bro. Honestly.
David Cornsweet, most people never heard of him before Superman.
Aaron Pierre's not that big too. He's just now getting big. You know what I mean? But Aaron Pierre was not a A-list guy.
But also, Aaron Pierre's getting big. But I do want to say, like, we wouldn't be noticing him getting these other roles if he wasn't Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. He is, so he's on our radar. And that's the type of, like, that's kind of why these roles are so coveted. Obviously, they pay a lot, but it's really the name recognition you get in such a cutthroat industry. Listen, I love Christian Bale, but, like, I know how to take my bias out of things. And if we got a Batman for the DCU that we've never heard of, that's the kind of thing I want. Another type of Cornsweet casting, not like I don't
Alan,
know,
not like Alan. What? Not like an Alan, not like an Alan Richson.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not something that everyone's seen on Twitter already.
100%. I agree with that. Semi. Oh my gosh!
You know he's not biased because he said semi. He didn't even fully cooked. He got semi.
I don't think I cooked at all, man. Reeves himself is producing a sign off on what they're doing in these DCU projects. So I think the Batverse will end up connecting in a soft canon. I wonder. Chris Evans as General Zod. What? What? No. Chris Evans is Batman. No. Yo, fun fact. Did you guys know that Jason Momoa, he was in the pool for Batman for a point, which would have been a terrible casting. Yeah. Okay. Now, on to our next topic, man. Talking about some Sony stuff. So we are coming off of a historic weekend, but not historic in a good way. Like, this is so bad because. And Jared, can you hold on? Let me block this dude, bro, because I don't know what propaganda he's doing, dude.
Who?
I'll tell you after the show. I can't say that out loud. But so Sony had a historic weekend in a really bad way because of the fact that Kraven did terrible in the box office this weekend. So I want to read a couple things about Sony. And we'll talk about it. So here we go. Sony and Disney's deal has reportedly never prevented Spider-Man from appearing in any of the Sony spin-off films. Tom Holland's Spidey can be used, Sony thought, audiences wouldn't accept him appearing in non-MCU films, and the multiverse established definitive boundaries. Okay, now I have a few more Sony things. Sony insiders say that the studio should be more selective in choosing Spider-Man characters for potential future film franchises. One analyst says you can hire a different Spider-Man, one for a Sony U film. It doesn't have to be Tom Holland. Another thing here, Sony's deal. Oh, I think this is the same thing. Okay, so I say all of this to say that Craven really struck a hard like Craven's failure is like a meeting on a Sunday night. You know what I mean? Like we're calling a board meeting right freaking now because I don't even think it did 10 million this weekend. I'm pretty sure the opening 11 million. That is
bad.
That is bro. I mean, bro, I used to work for a small business, bro. We did more profit than that. You know what I mean? Like in a weekend. So this is really, really bad, bro. And to be honest, I want to just hear how you feel about Sony and where they're at. And, there were obviously rumors about them selling their properties. I don't think that's true. You and I have been through that already, but I do think that there might be some more, they might be wanting to shop the Spider-Man content more to the MCU. There might be a change to, how the films are going to be now. So where are you at after Sony's failure, but also knowing that Craven is like the last villain film in this Sony universe?
So I've only seen two of them. I've only seen Venom 1 and Venom 2, and I was planning on seeing most of them, or all. And then they come out and the reviews are such trash that, like, listen, my time is valuable. I spend it wisely. Like, if I know a movie is that trash, I'm just not going to waste my time. But it does bother me because there are, like, pretty much all of them are great characters. Venom's a great character. I love Craven. I love Morbius. I even love Madam Web. All of these movies, like, should have been cool. And now we find out that they could have, like, used Spider-Man and they didn't have Spider-Man in any of these movies. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I do have a little rant that I want to go on because I do think that this is a little deeper than this, bro. I do blame both the MCU and Sony for this, bro. Because I do firmly believe that Feige and Holland have a hand in why Spider-Man was not used in Sony. And I think it's fair. Why? Because, Sony just hasn't done the best with their villain-led MCU films. And I can see Feige saying, like, we want to keep Holland for the MCU. And it was kind of hinted at that when Sony yanked Holland, from the MCU. And they were trying to put him in Sony stuff. And Holland was like, yeah, I ain't doing that, bro. So we understand that this has been a cockfight between between Sony and Marvel. And the reality is they both need to put their pride aside, bro, and make the Sony universe a part of the MCU and do it the right way. Because at the end of the day, the only people that gets robbed is us as fans, because, for example, Morbius could have freaking set up Blade. Like, I'm freaking reading the comics, bro, and I didn't know, Jerry, that Morbius ends up biting Blade, and then Blade is able to walk in the daylight because of his bite from him. You could have easily done a Morbius film with a Sony MCU tie-in where Blade is like hunting him. And I think that could have been a dope film. Like, Sony has tried movies with little to no ties to Spider-Man, and they have not even put in the effort to include Spidey, when in reality, all they got to do to save each film is just include freaking Spider-Man. Like, if you can do a Craven movie, or if you can do a Spider-Man movie with Craven, the film would be successful. And but with that being said, it isn't just Sony, bro, that's folding. Marvel Studios also has not done well, and I do think that what the MCU has done hurts Sony as well. And I think that, like, both of their failures kind of make this worse for me personally, because the multiverse saga has been the biggest downfall of all time. And for all you people that think I'm an MCU shill, hear me clear, okay? Because I'm about to crash out. Now, what people don't realize, bro, is that people think that Marvel not having a plan and throwing things together at the last second is something that is new. But the reality is that's how Marvel Studios did the freaking Infinity Saga. The Iron Man 1 script was not done during the freaking even filming. Endgame had multiple rewrites and multiple retcons happen. Even the fact that like Joss Whedon threw in Thanos in the end just because he liked Thanos, and they just end up going with him at the last second. The thing is that since there were only a few movies coming out each year, Feige was able to save continuity and sift through it. But now, bro, we have multiple shows, right? We have all these other projects coming out, and Feige just can't do it. And this is why
they're so short.
Yep. And this is why, bro, as fans, bro, we've been done dirty. Fun fact. The Multiverse of Madness, which you and I talked about like earlier, that is the movie that really ruined this, because there was a whole plot where, Wanda was known as the daughter of Magneto. And there was going to be a scene where Magneto and Professor X talk with Doctor Strange. And basically, Magneto tells her, I'm going to kill her. Like she is too powerful. I'm going to take her out. And Professor X and freaking Magneto both agreed to kill freaking Wanda. Not to mention, and Wanda Vision, right? They also scrapped the fact that those commercials where Doctor Strange reached out to her and that there was going to be a tie-in to the mutants through that too. Even Spider-Man, he was supposed to be in freaking Captain Marvel 2, but got shifted after Sony tried to yank their rights back. Marvel also did not recast T'Challa after the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman, which hurt them because T'Challa was supposed to be one of the centers of the MCU. We got Venom in No Way Home, but for some reason, Venom doesn't join the freaking battle. We also find out that the symbiote hive mind is a multiverse thing that they don't focus on. Even though we're in the multiverse saga, there's just many things where we get these little anecdotes and then the ball just gets dropped. And not to mention the identity politics that gets shoved into almost all of the MCU content that makes it even worse. So not only are we getting a bad plot, we are also getting political jargon that is thrown into our freaking content. Now, there is a hope. The hope is that, after this saga, right, we have one Earth and we can just go back to maybe a connected storytelling universe. But with the multiverse saga, bro, the main issue is when you do anything with multiverses and different Earths, you have to plan for it. You have to have a way to make everything work. And when Sony has a whole Spider-Verse, that makes sense, that we can understand. And it is a Marvel property. But when you go to Marvel Studios and the multiverse is a mess, not to mention you have a random Sony villain universe, it just makes Marvel as a whole look like a mess. And this is why, bro, I believe James Gunn is in a better position with the freaking DCU, because he doesn't have all the properties like split up. He has an open board of DC characters that he can freaking use. And look, I understand like the first 10 years, this is the first shared universe that we've ever had that dug this deep. I understand you had to make up a lot of stuff, but how come like after the freaking Infinity Saga was done, Feige doesn't take his team and say, hey, how do we learn from this? How do we make sure this doesn't happen again? They could have spent maybe 3 years, putting the MCU on autopilot, just releasing projects that they know are going to make bread while planning for what's next. But I do think Marvel is responsible. Like Marvel Studios is just as responsible for Sony. And when both of these companies are doing trash stuff like this, it just hurts everything, bro.
Yeah, I also think like Multiverse of Madness, they called the movie Multiverse of Madness, and they didn't actually do well with the concept of the multiverse. Like that was the movie that was supposed to hype up the whole multiversal saga, and it didn't. And they sidelined Doctor Strange for America Chavez, which was this woke BS. Nobody asked for her, and like, listen, there are some, like, I'm not against diversity or anything like that. I love Black Panther. I even like Captain Marvel. But, like, America Chavez defeating Wanda was a bad move. It's a Doctor Strange movie. So to launder her in and have her take the biggest moment from the movie, what the hell was that? They failed with Black Panther 2. Again, laundering, Shuri to the Black Panther, and they should have just recast T'Challa. And what was the other one that we were talking about? Oh, Ant-Man, which, listen, I like Ant-Man. I recognize it's not an amazing movie by any means. And that was another movie where a lot of it went wrong because that was the movie that was supposed to build up Kang, and it didn't do that. So you had one movie that was supposed to build up the multiverse, failed. You had another movie that was supposed to build up Kang, failed. But the Multiverse of Madness one stings even more because that was the one that, like, there are so many things you could point to as to, like, well, why did you make that decision? Why did you choose to put America Chavez into the movie? Why did you choose to have America Chavez in the movie and have her sideline Doctor Strange in his own movie? Wait, you're going to use Professor X and Magneto and you didn't do that? What are you, out of your minds? Especially when a lot of the first few phases of the MCU, one of the things that people loved were big deal characters, the characters they did care about being a surprise to be included in these movies, but when you get America Chavez, it feels like she was laundered because I might have not, wasted my time watching this movie otherwise. If I knew America Chavez was going to be defeating Doctor Strange in the end. And then the Sony universe definitely doesn't help. Marvel comes on in the beginning of those movies. Whether people understand it's different or not is irrelevant because it does carry the Marvel name. These are Marvel characters, and they have lasting effects because all of those villains are great. Listen, I read a ton of comics, and I will tell you those villains are great villains. And now you have a lot of fans who are probably gonna not be as interested. If you tell them, Madam Web is going to be in a movie, people are going to be like, oh, not her again. I gave her a chance and I didn't like her because the movie sucked. But Madam Web is actually a cool character. The other thing here, do you think that they should have used Tom Holland or a different actor for Spider-Man in those movies?
I think that you have to use a different one.
Okay, so it's okay for Sony, but it's not okay to do with Batman.
No, that's all I'm saying. I don't want that, but look, I'm not talking about what I want. I'm talking about what they probably should have done. That's
what I meant.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I'm saying if what's done, same with Batman, right? If what's done is done, then you gotta do what you gotta do, and that's kind of how I'm if what's done is done, then you just gotta rock out with the two Spider-Man. If I had it my way, combine both, I think that's the best way to do it. But if what's done is done, then you just rock out with two, Spider-Man.
That's my biggest problem with the Sony universe.
But Spider-Man is different than Batman because Spider-Man has multiple different variants that are super cool that you could do. Bro, you could do Scarlet Spider or Spider-Man 2099. You know what I mean? You don't have to use Peter. Versus when it comes to Batman, if it ain't Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you could use Jace Fox, but
true.
Anyway, here's the thing. I think villain-centric movies are a good idea. I still do. I don't think that Sony is fair proof that they don't work because I just don't think Sony put passion and love into these projects. I think they were just corporate slop. And I do think that villain centric movies could work. I also think that the only real other example isn't that really the best example because it's Joker, and Joker isn't a fair assessment of a villain centric movie. But when you look at Revenge of the Sith, that's an example of a villain-centric movie that works. The only problem is that villain-centric movie has a hero. And I think that villain-centric movies can be a good thing and can be good movies and don't always necessarily have to have a hero. I think Clayface could be a good movie. I do. I think Clayface is a great character. I love Clayface. I did a TikTok on it, so check it out. Clayface is a great character. And I when I first started reading comics that had Clayface in it, I was annoyed. I was this character is lame. He's a monster. That's corny. I don't want. And then I grew to actually really like the character because I got to know him. And sometimes that happens, and I'm pleasantly surprised. But I think that once they do figure out villain-centric movies, it's just going to open up a whole new subgenre of comic book movies that could be really great. It's just a shame that we have such poor examples that it seems like the concept doesn't work at this point.
I think that when it comes to villain centrics, it differs per hero, you know, like
Per villain, you mean?
no, per like because each villain has their hero, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Like it's different per one. So like I think that with like Sony, you do it where we can get a movie from the villain's perspective, but they fight Spidey in the end or something like that, you know, like versus where like Batman, you can do a Penguin show and it can work. But I do think that like you have to have and what is the word that
Adversary.
like a no, it's kind of like I'm gonna make up my own term.
An
Kind of
op.
like no. So the term that I'm gonna call right now, if it's not real, it's called like a shadow. Basically saying like Spider-Man's around, but like Spider-Man doesn't know this villain exists yet, you know? And the villain is going through so much and all these things are happening to them and they're blaming Spider-Man. And like I would love a perspective like that to where like Spider-Man saves someone and the oh here's an example, right? You know how in like Batman, I'm using an example. I remember in Batman versus Superman, right? When Bruce Wayne is saving that girl, and then he looks up and sees Superman flying by. That's how I feel like a villain movie could work because then they eventually cross paths in the movie. Like if it could lead up to that, I would love that type of like villain movie.
Because I do think that, and I'm not against that as an idea. I just think that like the second you make like say you were to do a Doc Ock movie, the second you make Spider-Man a prominent character, you kind of destroy the movie because and that maybe is why it's so difficult because you need to have an adversary for a villain movie to work. You still, there's got to be someone he's opposed to.
Yeah.
But the second you put it's Spider-Man or Batman, it's hard to root for the villain as the protagonist.
Yeah.
So again, we're YouTubers. We're not moving.
You're right. And I mean, and that's where you see like James Gunn is kind of testing the waters because like there's rumors of in that Bane and Deathstroke movie, like there's rumors of Damian and Nightwing being the main. I mean, like being the adversaries in that film. So like we have guys that are trying to test the waters to see how it works. So they'll figure it out. Like maybe it's a sidekick thing. I don't know, but I do think that like when it comes to certain villain-centric films, like the hero has to be involved. Like, Penguin worked, but Penguin is different than a lot of stuff that we've seen,
Yeah. And Penguin was cool, and maybe that's a good way to do an adversary is like the adversary is another villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love this podcast, man. I just love how we get into these deep thoughts. Okay. Let's see if there are any chats here. Marvel movies haven't been good since Civil War, not to mention Endgame and Infinity War. Bro, Shang-Chi was a really good movie. I really like Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was great. It's actually Shang-Chi.
Sorry, Shang-Chi.
Aquafina, she kept correcting.
Kept
correcting her. It was like Shang. Yeah.
Yeah, she would kill me. I still believe Kevin Feige. I know Kevin Feige is not needed 100%. Multiverse of Midness.
Seriously.
Morbius, Ghost Blade, Ghost Rider, one of the movie Spirits of Vengeance. And yeah, bro, I was like when I'm watching Morbius, I'm like, why isn't Blade in this movie? Like, why not?
You watch that movie?
I did. Never again. Yeah, so I tried to watch all the Sony movies before Craven because it was like the last movie. So I stomached through Madam Web and all that, dude.
Yeah.
One more time.
Morbius, like, oh man, the J. Michael Straczynski run of Amazing Spider-Man is probably in my top 5 favorite comics of all time. But that's where Morbius had his first appearance. I'm pretty sure it's like the first arc too. And it was sick. Like Morbius is a really cool character. And so is Madam Web, so is Craven. Venom is like the obvious one. But I think Craven's cooler than Venom. I always did.
That's a hot take. You should make a tick. You should make a tick. Talk about that.
I should.
Morbius, Blade. Oh, you said that. The movies might as well be an AI generated facts at this point. Yo, speaking of AI, so Comics Explained said that he's on Unreal Engine, and basically he's trying to create the 616 universe in Unreal Engine, and he's basically going to make a YouTube video touring each place in his Unreal Engine universe. He's putting like,
did they give him access or something?
Yeah. So he say he's trying to like learn. He's putting like a lot of bread into it too.
Bro, that is like, that would make him the greatest YouTuber of all time.
100%, bro. That's next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, like, you know, there are so many people online I see that like someone mentions anything about like AI and like photos or film, and someone's like, "Oh, you're a loser. You're a loser."
Yeah.
And then when it's AI for another industry, they're like, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay."
Yeah.
Like, oh, so all these other people, you're okay with AI taking their job, but it comes to your industry, it's off.
By the way, guys, this thumbnail's AI, so y'all can hate all you want. It helps us out.
What do you mean it's AI? It's the photo of the poster.
No, but I'm saying like the captions and the arrow. I don't do that, dude.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so AI. So I have like an AI like editor thing that my friend actually put me onto. Shout out to you. And it basically captions. So now I sometimes change like the words, but you can like you basically write a description of what you want, and then it'll like tell you. It'll like make its own thing. You just have to upload the image, then it'll add like the edits around it and stuff.
Okay.
It's super cool. But anyways, Sony can go to hell for what they did to the Spider-Man characters. Facts.
They still have done a lot of good.
Oh, here comes the caping, bro.
They have, bro. Every Spider-Man movie we've gotten is Sony.
And Marvel, well, the last three, but we're not.
That's still the Raimi trilogy and the the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's that. Well, Spider-Man 3 was trash, but Spider-Man 1, 2, yeah.
Spider-Man 3 was trash.
We got 4 good ones. We got 4 good ones. All right. Now let's get let's get to this Marvel or this MCU and Star Wars fatigue. So Jerry, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
So I saw something online. I hate the word fatigue, by the way, and Stevie said it too. I hate this superhero fatigue thing. And for a while, I hated people saying this. I was like, I don't think it's real. I just don't think the movies are good. And then I saw something the other day that was really interesting. So there's this company called Parrot Analytics, and they do like a lot of in-depth reporting on trends based on social media. And they were saying that a lot of the talk around Marvel and Star Wars took a major dip over the past year. And I know for us and for everyone watching this, you're obviously passionate like we are. So we probably live in that bubble online where everyone's always talking about it. But I do think that this company knows what they're doing. And I forget who they sent the report to, but it was someone like James Gunn, like someone like a top person like that. So they're definitely legit. And I think that it makes every decision that Star Wars and Marvel make more important than it ever has been. You can't be doing things like having America Chavez sideline Doctor Strange or having Pedro Pascal have a mustache when he's Reed Richards. You know, I just think that the mustache thing is such like when they announced Pedro Pascal, there were a lot of people that were happy about it for Reed Richards. And then there were a lot of people who were like, well, he looks nothing like Reed Richards. For context, I said, I don't like him as Reed Richards, but I really like him as an actor. So I'm going to reserve most of my judgment for when the movie comes out, because I do think that he's going to win me over because he's such a talented actor. But there are a lot of people that still say, well, he's Hispanic and he doesn't really look like Reed Richards, and Reed Richards isn't Hispanic. I don't care that he's Hispanic. If he's Hispanic and he looks the part, that's fine. But he doesn't, and it makes me wonder, why won't they just shave the mustache? It literally can be done in 2 seconds, and I just don't understand when they're in. It's such an important movie for them. And I just don't get why it's acceptable that he has the mustache when it's the easiest fix in the world. I mean, it is so easy. And it just makes me think that, like, I don't know. It seems almost like it's cocky. Like, oh, we have Pedro Pascal. We're Marvel. We're all right, bro. That's kind of the vibe I get from it.
Yeah. So I really don't care about the stash, but as a costume connoisseur, I understand how you feel, because if the Fantastic Four costume doesn't look good, you'll hear me saying the same thing as you. You know what I mean? So I understand. Where you're coming from. Like, hopefully the hope is that his acting can wash away his sins. That's the hope. Now I do want to talk about the whole. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
The mustache isn't just his sin, though. It's his sin and it's Kevin Feige's sin. And it is interesting that it doesn't bother you, because you're like very detailed down to what was it? I forget which Spider-Man met. It was the eyes on.
Oh yeah, the eyes drove me crazy.
The TASM 2 eyes. So
yeah.
It's like that bothers you, but this doesn't. I kind of find that interesting.
The reason why the mustache doesn't really bother me is because it's not like it's not a stash that Pedro would actually rock in real life. Because I remember when they released the Fantastic Four art last year, where it was really just like Last of Us Pedro face photoshopped onto a body, and I thought that was nasty. But when I see his hair slicked back with the gray and the stash, it's a 60s style stash. But I can see, but then I see what people say when they say it looks very Howard Stark-esque. So like, I understand that, point of view, but it just doesn't bother me because it fits the 60s vibe. But I also am not going to cape like a lot of these fans and use comics, because you got to understand, Reed only had a beard. He never had a stash in comics. So like, whenever Reed has facial hair, it's a full beard, not a stash. So don't try to use comics to justify what you like. If you like it, but like me, like, it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But as I said, I understand where you're coming from. It just doesn't bother me because it fits the 60s style film that they're trying to, go for.
I hate when people are like, and with a costume, it's a little different. But like, when people are like, oh, Shuri was Black Panther in the comic. She was Black Panther for like 2 comics, bro. Okay. T'Challa, when people say Black Panther, they think T'Challa. All right. And it's at some point, like, you got to go with what's traditional and what people are attached to. And that's really what it's about. Actually, I'm going to do a video on this, but I shouldn't have just said that, but whatever. James Gunn, I'm going to read it because he posted something about comic accuracy that was really interesting. And it's pretty much like word for word, like what I would say.
Okay, let me hear it.
So someone wrote, and he wrote this in response. Someone wrote on Threads, I think comic accurate means in current canon. So for Wonder Woman, being comic accurate equals Clay origin. Her being a queer feminist, symbol of peace, who always avoids, I know, Threads, that's what you get. But anyway, James Gunn responded, and I the rest of it's cut off from the screenshot. I don't have what the rest of that person wrote. But James Gunn wrote, I don't think it means in current canon, as all of these characters have their up years and down years and not always at the same time. I don't think current readers should be weighted 100% and lifelong readers weighted 0%. Things evolve. Also, the DCU is a different universe than DC Comics, just as Black Label is different from mainstream continuity. Comics accurate, to me, means staying true to the nature of the character, which is obviously subjective, so every adapter can only do his or her best, which I think is fair. It's you can't say, oh, you stopped reading comics and you haven't read this 2024 run, sucks. We're not going to honor what you know as the character.
Yeah.
And that's why you got to go with the traditional. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, there's one obscure comic, Batman 792, Batman, didn't have a cape. Like, everyone knows Batman has a cape, okay? If you find one comic where Batman doesn't have a cape, you don't make a movie Batman without a cape. So if that's your argument to defend something, it's fucking stupid, okay?
Yeah, I just think that the gray streaks are more iconic than no stash. That's just kind of where I'm at though. Like I think that like everybody knows Reed for the gray streaks in his hair.
But the biggest problem I have with the stash is the fact that it's so easy to fix. Like, at what point is it like?
Yeah, but they don't see it as a problem, bro.
That's a problem. That's a problem, especially when so much is on the line. Like, they've made so many wrong decisions since post Endgame, and like something like this is easy. It's like, if you have an open shot on the court and you're not missing it, like that's a problem.
Yeah, but I think that like I just think that like Marvel, like I think that in this case, like the mustache is like a minority thing. Like I think that like what they're probably worried about more is Reed Richards landing the character, and I do think that you are right.
When you say minority, you mean like Hispanic?
No.
Okay.
I think that like the mustache complaint is more in the minority because I think they're more worried about landing the character. But I do think you are right though when you said that like the attitude with Pedro Pascal is like we have Pedro, so like we don't have to like make it as detailed. Even though I think it's more. I'm actually shocked at how detailed they were. I thought it was gonna be way less editing for Pedro. Like he looked really clean, shaved in that. I was shocked, but I think that for them they just care about different things, and so I mean.
Yeah, I think they could care about it all. Like I said, it's such an easy fix that like you shave it, it takes 2 seconds, and you never think about it again.
Yeah, but like as I said, I just don't think that's going to ruin the film. But I understand where you're coming from because if the costume is like not good, like that ruins the movie for me. So I get it. But I did want to talk about fatigue though because I do feel like Marvel and Star Wars are 2 different situations.
Yeah.
When it comes to fatigue, because I think that for Marvel, they are fatigued themselves, not really the fans. And I feel like with Star Wars, the fans got fatigued because of the trash lore, and them not caring about, continuity at all. And I really think that like for Marvel fans, like we have shown up to theaters for these films. The only movie that we didn't really show up for really is, the Marvels, which bombed significantly. But I do think that one of the things that is going to hurt the MCU, bro, in terms of fatigue is them zooming by important comic book stories so fast. So you might hate me or you might be mad at me, but you talked about Civil War so much that I read them all. Oh, like a few days ago.
The whole event or just the Civil War, like 6 or 8 comics?
I read the 6 or 8 Civil War comics. I kind of skipped a little bit because you just kept talking about it, and I'm like, I have to read it. So
did you not finish the Hickman saga?
I was almost done, but I had to go to Civil War because you kept talking about it. But anyways, so no, you kept talking about it, and then
I gotta stop talking about comics to you.
No,
You're
it's
so
all good.
behind that like I'm throwing you off.
It's all good. No. I'm actually happy I read it because Civil War is like top 3 all time.
I told you.
Bro,
if I think something is that good, it's that good.
Yeah, and now after reading it, I'm kind of pissed that it got shoved into one movie. And what I think could help with fatigue in regards to the MCU is like, imagine if we got a Civil War phase, like imagine if we got a phase of Civil War. And so going into the future, like if you do Avengers versus X-Men, you got to make that a phase. Don't just cram all of that story into one movie. Like there's enough in the comic book run of
Civil War,
Avengers versus X-Men to stretch it, to be in front of. I wouldn't even mind if they did Civil War again. Like I wouldn't be against it because I mean they didn't really touch. I mean, bro, the Heroes for Hire, bro. Like what the frick? Like that's all. Like never even got touched, bro. So. That's what I think could help with them is prolonging those
that library or school or whatever it was. And here's the other thing that like if you don't read comics, you have to understand these crossover events. So the whole Civil War event was like 100 comics total, or give or take. And there are Spider-Man Civil War comics. There's Black Widow Civil War comics. So each character has like their own story within the event. There's like, there's probably like 10 Spider-Man Civil War comics. So you could do a Spider-Man movie within the Civil War saga and pull it all from the comics. It's all there. Spider-Man has a whole story carved out within, and so do all the other big characters. So, and some of the smaller ones too. So you could totally do something like that. And by the way, back to the multiversal saga, that's what they should have done for Secret Wars. Once they knew they were doing Secret Wars, they should have just done the Avengers, Hickman stuff. They should have pulled from that. It's the greatest comic of all time. And instead, we're getting movies like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is the closest thing we have to the Hickman saga. And that's how crazy it is, okay? Because that movie sucks. And they got to stop laundering in these characters. The other thing that's interesting, too, is like there's a lot of people that, you know, the second they see like a movie that, you know, has like diversity in it, it's like whether the movie's good or bad, they defend it. And it's like, if you want the diversity to be featured in movies, you should also want those movies to be good, because then they won't be criticized. And then the people who are unfairly criticizing it because of the diversity, it's that much easier to spot out and call it out. But like when you have a movie like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, some people who like the movie for unfair reasons get lost in the sea of people who don't like the movie for valid reasons. You know, and it's just crazy because there's so much good stuff to pull from with where Marvel is right now in the story. And like how many good movies do we even have in the multiversal saga? I can only think of two. Spider-Man, No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Shang-Chi, No Way Home. And Deadpool and Wolverine. There's three.
Wolverine. Yeah.
And then the shows are an abomination.
Yeah, WandaVision, great show. What else is good?
I disagree on WandaVision, but whatever.
Not a great show. That's crazy.
A lot of people are split on that. That's not uncommon. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't like it. You know,
not on my side of fandom.
Oh, I see people hating on it all the time. But whatever. I don't even care that much to argue it.
Yeah. Like, what else? Great show. Oh, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's not bad, but it's not like
it's not like amazing. What was
the other? Moon Knight was fire.
Moon Knight was fire. A lot of people didn't like it though.
Yeah, true. Moon Knight was hard.
The other one that I really I'm starting to have an issue with is What If. So I think What If is a cool concept. I liked What If. I like season 1 more than season 2, but whatever. The issue I'm gonna have is if What If season 3 ends and it has no like implications or impact to the greater MCU, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah, because I know they're having Storm, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, and with Star Wars, bro, Star Wars is just they have dug their own hole. So yeah, there's no like, bro. Star Wars fans want to show up to theaters and watch Star Wars. Like, there's no like the fans are fatigued of trash content. That's what fans are fatigued of.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to get a laugh, check out my recent post on Threads, my most recent one. I criticized the whole America Chavez, Doctor Strange thing, and I had one person in the comments who was so rude. It's like it's crazy. You can't even criticize a movie without people throwing a temper tantrum. Yeah. You know, but whatever.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
America Chavez was they just gassed her so much, bro. They made like, I'm not even gonna go down that road. Okay. So speaking of Doctor Strange, there is a Doctor Strange Academy show in the works. Basically, Doctor Strange Academy is it's a comic book run. Basically, it's their Harry Potter, basically, where there's a bunch of professors. They're trying to take children to teach them magic and to learn spells. Doctor Strange really isn't in it much, but you know, look, I think that did the show be good for the kids. They would like it, you know, a little magic show where, you know, it's teachers and stuff. It gives the Harry Potter vibe. You know, it's not going to move the needle for the MCU, but it wouldn't fail, you know, because kids like magic shows just do good. You know what I mean? So wouldn't, I mean, It's nothing crazy. Like I would watch it. I would probably like it because I'm a big, Harry Potter fan, but I don't think it's anything that's going to like move the needle in a wild way. Do you feel the same way?
You know, if he's going to be in the show, I have more confidence in it. But like, I'm not really once they do damage like Doctor Strange 2 or what was the other one? Oh, Thor Love and Thunder. Like,
Oh, we forgot about that, dude.
Yeah. It's so bad. Once they do that kind of damage, I think they need to earn credit again with those characters. And Doctor Strange like that. And Doctor Strange wasn't ruined the way Thor was, but the fact that they thought it was okay to sideline him for America Chavez gives me no confidence with what they're going to do with Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Not to mention, he wasn't even the Sorcerer Supreme, bro. Which is a freaking abomination itself. Like, bro, like, how much are we going to use Wong, dude? Like, honestly, bro. That annoys me so much. Oh, gosh. Okay. Next topic. Sony is not releasing Beyond the Spider-Verse in 2025. Now, obviously, we were told that they were going to do a back-to-back. Obviously, that didn't happen. It was supposed to come out 2024, and now it's not coming out 2025. At first, I was angry about this, but you have changed my heart on this. So, how do you feel about it not coming out?
Well, I'm annoyed, but I still have confidence in the movie. Like, I don't know what's going on at Sony, but I think they're obviously having some like big creative differences, and they're not sure which route to take. I wasn't expecting this movie for 2025. It's annoying, but thankfully 2025 is a packed year, so we won't really feel it.
100%. And even 2026, like we're getting Doomsday, bro. So
yeah,
that will be probably the perfect time to release it, but it's probably not going to happen.
There's also a lot of video games coming out this year, and it's made me think about it because Metal Gear Solid Delta, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, which 20 years ago today, actually, Metal Gear Solid 3 came out.
Really?
Which is crazy. I remember they accidentally sent me 2 copies because I always would – I didn't know if my mom was going to get to take me to the store that day, so I would always pre-order my video games and get them overnighted so I would still get them to the house the day it came out. And they accidentally sent me 2 copies. And they sent me the first one. I got it a day early. And I sold it to a friend of mine in class who sat behind me in science or whatever. Yeah, I was like, I'll give it to you half off,
Businessman.
Yeah.
Making moves even as a kid.
They emailed me like a month later. They're like, hey, I didn't even answer it. But anyway, it made me think about it differently because they said that Metal Gear Solid Delta was supposed to come out for 2024. Obviously, that's not happening anymore. And now they're in troubled waters because Grand Theft Auto 6 hasn't announced their release date. They've just said it's coming out in 2025. So all these video game studios are waiting for Grand Theft Auto to announce their release date because they want to avoid that as much as possible. Yeah. And if you think about it, it's the same thing with the movies because, no one wants to go up against Superman. No one wants to go up against Fantastic Four. And even if like they were close to finishing Beyond the Spider-Verse right now, they are not putting that movie out in 2025. Also, they want awards and all that stuff too. But not that comic book movies get a lot of awards. And awards are fake, by the way. And if you don't believe that, like you're crazy. They're all fake. It's crazy. But they still matter for whatever reason. Anyway, because not everyone knows they're fake.
Honestly, bro, the best time to release it is in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. If I was them, that's when I would do it.
You don't think there's going to be other MCU movies that come out during that time?
Oh yeah. I think the perfect way to do it is you release it the same year as Spider-Man 4. That's what I would do if I was them.
See, I don't think they'll do that. I actually think they're a little more strategic with it because I think that they are like very strategic with how they release Spider-Man. Like I always say, I think Spider-Man is the best managed character in the game. And I think that they want to make sure that they try to have at least one Spider-Man movie a year, and I don't think they'll release on the same year. Maybe they will because they'll have to at this point, but I do think they try to spread it out to do one a year. Like right now, the DC seems like they're doing that with Batman in the comics. It seems like they're trying to put out at least one Batman comic a week. You know, they have the regular Batman, then they have Detective Comics, they have Absolute Batman. Last week they dropped Batman Dark Patterns. It's like literally every week there's a different Batman comic from a different series that's coming out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the other one dropping. You know, I mean, like where I'm at with it. Obviously, I was mad at first. You saw me crash out the first time, but you was like, let them cook, and I took that advice. You know, I'm not really pressed about it anymore.
The movie's it's coming. It's gonna be fire. Like it sucks that we have to be patient, but we don't have a fucking choice.
Exactly. You know, and also animation takes a long time to do. And I also think that they're also trying to work in live action too. Like I think there's a lot more elements that's being worked into this film.
They definitely want to work out live action with Miles, 100%. By the way, I just saw this comment. 100% agree. Magneto 100%. Is like the ideal character.
I would do $1 billion. Easy.
Yeah.
Easily. Facts. But yeah, did you see the whole thing when Haley Steinfeld, the girl that voices Spider-Girl?
Yeah.
Bro, she got engaged to Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills, and basically like Shameik, the guy who voiced Miles Morales, got trolled on the internet because he was trying to like bag her the whole press run. She was like, yeah, nah, like I ain't, like he was trying to talk to him. But now apparently
he's having a great year.
Yeah, but now, dude, apparently he's dating the chick from Spider-Man Homecoming, the black chick that was Vulture's daughter. Her apparently he's dating her. So
oh wow, she's pretty hot.
W's in the chat. W's in the chat. All right, next topic here. So there was like a little and I think these scores would change now after the Superman freaking poster drops.
Yeah,
but there was a poll that went out and was basically they asked 10,000 people, you know, what movie are you most excited for? And the number one movie was Captain America: Brave New World, and the most anticipated acting role that they're hyped for is Pedro Pascal Reed. So are you shocked that Brave New World is the most anticipated movie of next year?
I'm shocked by both of those things, 100%.
Because I know you're a Brave New World guy, so I know you're hyped about it. But
I'm super hyped about Brave New World. But like, it seems to me that in our fandom world, Superman is like the clear favorite for the most hype. Like everyone's super hyped about Superman. And at first, it wasn't my number one. I don't know if it's my number one now, but it's definitely gotten closer.
Yeah. My number one, but right now, so the Fantastic Four, but Superman's definitely my 2. So right, and I put the Daredevil show over a lot of movies right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would probably agree. Fantastic Four is number 1 and Superman's number 2, but that might change, bro. I've also been reading a ton of Superman comics lately too, so I'm like really on a Superman hype right now. Superman and X-Men have been my go-tos lately.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Hold on, wait. Can I please ask you just so it's not leave my mind? So you mentioned All-Star Superman for when you were talking about Superman, right? Isn't All-Star Superman super OP?
Yeah. So basically, what happens is he finds out that he is going to die, and hold on, I think I wrote something about it earlier. Hold on, let me try to find it.
But don't you? But yeah, bro, because I think I saw a tweet about it where they were like, if they're basing this DC Superman off of All-Star Superman, they were like, then expect for this Superman to be super powerful.
So basically, yeah, he got an overdose of solar radiation, and that is what boosted his and made him like super OP. And then because of that, he had a limited time to live. So he like was super thoughtful about the things he wanted to do to protect mankind for when he's not around anymore. And
That's fire.
Yeah, it's a really cool comic, and it's also super accessible. Like the other thing that I probably forgot to mention about All-Star Comics, the All-Stars, and applies to All-Star Superman too, is anyone could read it. And if you've never read a Superman comic before, like it's super accessible. It's a great place to start, which is probably one of the reasons James Gunn chose this, because they're not doing an origin movie, but it's still a good entry point, you know? And I think that's an important point to drive home here, because an origin movie isn't the only way to do a good entry movie. And there are other good ways, and James Gunn is going to lead the way in showing us how to do that.
100%. All right. Now, last topic of the night, Nova.
Oh, this is stupid.
So, Annihilus will reportedly be the main villain in the Disney Plus Nova series. So, how come you hated this so much?
So, Annihilus is a really cool character because he is the head of the Horde. He's basically like a super insect alien. He's like an insect like alien, and he is from the negative zone, which is like a big Fantastic Four thing. And he's super powerful, and he's got a whole horde of other insects behind him. And he's like one of the biggest villains in Marvel. So it's just weird that he is being used for a TV show for Nova.
Yeah. Also,
it's a weird matchup.
Richard Rider should not be Nova. I like Sam Alexander, and that's just because I'm reading the Avengers comics.
Yeah, Sam is like kind of like a Wonder Boy, younger kid.
Yeah.
I've never been big on either of them, gotta say.
I just don't get, like, they could easily just use the fact that Thanos wiped out Xandar, and you just go from there. Make a journey from him going to Earth, you know? I mean, and like, I just don't get, like, I hope that they don't go with freaking Ryder. Like, I know they've had not the best of luck when it comes to younger, actors and castings, but I think Sam could serve the stories better, more so because Sam Alexander is in the big, I mean, he's in Avengers versus X-Men. Well, why don't you just use him? You know what I mean? Because he's going to be the guy that you're going to use for your larger stories, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he's relevant either way. Like,
but wasting Annihilus is like, that's bad.
Stupid.
Like,
it's stupid. But they do this. They love doing that. That's like one of their favorite things to do. It's almost like someone there is like, oh, let's fuck with the comic fans. And
Yeah, I mean, Gore is a really bad. Like, a lot of people don't understand how bad it was that they wasted Gore, but like that.
Yeah, and they got it's like they wasted the character, they wasted the talent. Yeah,
we got the shirt on, baby. Come on, man.
Such a sick logo.
Yeah, dude. I want to buy the cape, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm finna go to the movies wearing the cape with the shirt.
Oh God.
Wait, does that count as cosplay?
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's impractical. By the way, the kid who told me that I shouldn't have freedom of speech because I said Disney Star Wars or Star Wars is greater than Disney Star Wars. He also complained about my cosplay threads. He was like, it's no different than putting on a basketball jersey to go to a basketball game. And I already blocked him at this point because I don't want to talk to people who think I shouldn't have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But it's these crazy extremist leftists. It's like, how are you against freedom of speech? Anyway, he was like, oh, it's the same thing as wearing a jersey going to a game. No, it's not. Bro, if you're dressed up as a superhero, it's impractical. Like, a jersey is still a shirt. Like a football jersey or a tank top, that's still, at the end of the day, it's a t-shirt. If you have a cape and a mask on, It's impractical. It looks silly.
Now that's fire, bro. You hating.
Nah,
I'm all for the cosplay, man. As long as it looks good. But now that you say that, I want to do a funny topic, which is the worst cosplays. I gotta find that Batman guy, dude. I gotta find that Batman guy because, like,
oh
if
yeah,
we did that would be hilarious.
Oh my god, he was
We could
hard.
find the worst cosplays and show them.
Yeah.
I think that would be a hilarious topic for the docket. Also, shout out to ATS Edwin who joined the TikTok live, bro. Shout out to you, man. He said he loves our reactions. So shout out to
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you, my man. All right, so we're going to end the podcast here. Thank you for joining us for our 100th episode. With the Superman trailer dropping Thursday, it is possible that we might go live. We might pre-record. We're definitely going to pre-record, but we might go live. It's possible. Who knows? But stay tuned for that trailer. And peace out, y'all. Be safe. Clips going out every day. Follow Jerry on TikTok at Comic-Cuts. Follow me on TikTok at Superherocuts. Same things on Instagram. And no, TikTok will not be banned. The GOAT will save it. Have a good night. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.